Yeah. Mhm.
Hello.
Hey, Paula, how are you?
Yes, I'm great.
Good. You look like you've just woken up.
Yeah, I just looking up like 15 minutes ago.
Right. Okay. Welcome to the world. Yeah. So, um, your mum was telling me all your cousins came to visit yesterday.
Yeah, because it was Anna's birthday.
Right. Oh, Anna's birthday, was it? Oh, I
Yeah, it
didn't
was
know that.
Anna's.
How old is she?
Oh, she's really old. Let me count. She
Really
is.
old.
She's really old. 25.
25. Is she really? 25.
Yeah, she's really 25 now.
Wow, she's getting really old.
Yes, she's really
Time.
getting old to me.
It's time for her to retire soon. I think. Yeah. Okay. So today, now, before I start, is there anything you want to practice in particular?
Are we doing speaking or writing?
Well, what would you like to do?
Hmm.
Hmm.
It has been a long time since I done any writing too.
Right. Well, we can do a little bit of both if you like. We'll start with speaking and then we'll go to writing. Now, with writing, did you want to look at task one or task two or both?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of
That's
both.
possible. Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at a little bit of both. All right. So we'll start, like I say, with the speaking in that case, and then we'll go to writing. Do you have
Okay.
any questions before we start?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'll just go again through some part one questions with you. Um, so I was thinking this morning about what you did last time, and I think, want you to be careful that you're not over answering the part one questions. Remember, the
Mm,
part one questions are all just
yeah.
simple. You only need to give two or three sentence, maybe not even three sentence answers if it's just a simple question. They are just they are just warm up questions, and you don't
Yeah.
need to worry about them too much. So it just gives you a chance, like I say, to warm up and maybe not feel so nervous after you've done that. So, like I say, you don't need to worry. I think if you try to over answer them, then it starts to get a bit complicated. Yeah, so just
Okay.
again, like I say, just remember just simple answers. Obviously, you can still use your more advanced vocabulary, of course, but generally the answers are fairly simple. Anyway, I'll give you a selection of these
Okay.
questions,
Yes.
okay, and
Okay.
see how you go. So just remember the main. I can't remember if I told you this or reminded you of this the other day or not. So there are five things to think about when answering any of these questions. First one, of course, is that you must answer the question. Okay, very obvious. Second one is you aim to be fluent. That is, not too many unnecessary pauses or hesitations. Okay, pausing for a moment or two while you are thinking is fine, but obviously pausing too much makes you not sound fluent. Answer must be coherent, must make sense, not too long or too short. We just talked about that. And also, you want to minimize your grammar and pronunciation errors. All very
Okay.
obvious stuff. Okay, let's go. So, This one is about your studies, okay? Some questions about your
Oh, okay.
studies. Okay. Um, do you work or are you a student?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student now at trường ngoại ngữ foreign language specialized school.
Okay. What subjects are you studying?
I'm studying like at school specifically. I'm studying a lot more like social subjects rather than subjects relating to science, such as physics or chemistry.
Oh, good. You gave an example. That's great. Okay. Do you want to give maybe you should give just an example also of the subjects that you are studying.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
what's an example of that?
Also, I'm answering it again.
Yeah, yeah. Start again.
Okay.
Okay. What subjects are you studying?
So at school right now, I'm studying I'm studying more social subjects such as geography and history rather than subjects that relate to science such as physics and chemistry.
Okay, good. Um, do you prefer to study in the mornings or the afternoons?
Personally, I really enjoy learning in the morning because um, in the morning I have the mood and I have the energy to just you know, I forgot the word. To just absorb the knowledge more easier and more easier.
Okay, to
Yeah.
absorb the knowledge more easily is correct. Absorb the knowledge more easily. I'll ask you that question again, okay?
Okay.
Do you prefer to study in the mornings or the afternoons?
Personally, I enjoy much more learning in the mornings because in the morning I usually have the mood and the energy to absorb the knowledge that I learned at school.
Okay, good, good. Again, I think it's just easier, makes it easier for you. Just
Uh,
repeat the question,
yes.
okay? So as you could say, I prefer to study in the mornings because,
Okay.
okay, makes it nice and easy. All right. How much time do you think you spend on your studies every week?
I would say I would spend about at least 20 hours on my studies per week because as I'm a student, most of my time is just for studies or hang out with my friends. So yes, I would say it's about 20 hours a week.
Okay. And again, maybe you could give an example of that. You might say this includes going to class, preparing for assignments,
Mm,
reading books, that sort of example. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are there any changes you would like to see in your school or at your school?
There would be a thing that I would like to change at my school is that right now we're having too much project, too much group project or like personal projects in social subjects or even in English. And I think I we're having like a really abundant amount of assignments to do. So I would like the schools to like reduce the amount of group projects that we're doing.
Okay, good. I would like the school to reduce the amount of group projects that we're doing. Remember to go down at the
Yes,
end of your last sentence, okay? Otherwise, it sounds like you are a little bit unfinished.
yes,
Okay. This is good, Paula. You're going fine. All right. I'm just checking what I'm actually listening for now, by the way, is just the content of your answers. So we already know your vocabulary is fine, you are fluent, you don't stop much, okay, and your answers make sense. But I'm just checking to make sure you have the right content. So
yeah,
that's why you notice I keep emphasizing, if you can, think of an example of, for instance. Okay.
okay.
All right. I'll just do a few more of these and then we'll go to part two. Okay. So, just looking at this document here, I know you can't see it, um,
Mhm.
and that's deliberate because I don't want you to see the questions.
Yeah.
But what questions they do ask in IELTS, it says they still ask the easy ones about your hometown. So I'll ask
Um,
you some of those. Okay. This again, it says this is very common.
yes.
Even though they are very simple questions, they still use them a lot. Because, like I say, this is just to help you warm you up, not to trick you or trap you. Okay. I know I asked you these last week. I'll ask you some different ones about this. What part of Hanoi do you live in?
I live in the center of Hanoi, which is I live in the center of the capital city that I live in, and it's quite busy and crowded when you live in the center of, a big city, but I still enjoy it much.
Okay. Maybe you could give the name of the center. Where do you live? Bading.
Yeah, but
Yeah, maybe
oh
say
yeah,
I live in Bading in the center of Hanoi, you
yes.
know. Okay. And just say a little bit about it, It's very
Yeah.
busy. There's a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a lot of offices in this area, that kind of thing. Okay. Do you like living in this part of the city?
Um, Personally, I would say that I love living in this part of the city because although it's quite crowded and busy, but it's really convenient to me to go to other parts of Hanoi in a short amount of time.
Okay, good. Um, this is a funny question. Don't know if I'll ask you this one. Um, And the question is, do you know any famous people in your part of Hanoi? Bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
because either you do, or if you don't, all you can say is no, I don't. You know?
yeah, I could say no, I don't, and I really
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. Um, if they ask you a question like that, of course, you can't just say no.
No, I don't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
what I mean is, if they ask you a question that you don't know an answer to, you can't just say, no, I don't. You might say something like, where do famous people live in Hanoi? Is there a part of Hanoi famous or rich people live?
Yeah, they do, but they mostly live in like the you know countryside where there
Right.
are a lot of places and there are a lot of like like fancy buildings or that.
Great. Okay, so that is the answer you give for that sort of question. So you would say, no, I don't know any famous people in my area. In Hanoi, the famous rich people, they live, and just go on to say where they do live. Okay,
Yes,
does that make sense? So you give an alternative.
yes.
Again, just showing that you can answer the question. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Have there been many big changes recently in your part of Hanoi?
I would say that there hasn't been much changes over the past few years, but I can clearly see that the traffic has been much more better and more easier for people to travel around.
Okay, the traffic has been much more, but you mean that it has got much better?
Oh yeah, it's not got much better.
Yeah, yeah. So you need just be careful of that. The traffic has got much
But
better. Yeah. Remember, you can't say much more better. Doesn't make sense in English. Much more better is not a collocation. Okay. You can say much better.
Mhm.
Okay. But you can't say much more better. All right. Okay. Um, do you like crowded places? And if so, why?
Personally, I'm an extrovert person, but I don't like crowded places because I tend to enjoy more like a chill and a calming atmosphere when I'm around people. So no, I don't like crowded places.
Okay. And remember example. Give
Yes,
an example.
examples.
Yeah. What's an
Yes.
example of a What's an example of somewhere you do like?
Yes. I'll give example.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do that again and give me an example this time of someone you do
Okay.
like. Okay, do you
Okay.
like crowded places? And if so, why? Or if not, why?
Mm. So personally, I'm an extroverted person. However, I don't like going to crowded places, because I think it's too busy to me, and I like the calming and the chill atmosphere. And the places like I like to go to is there are coffee shops that has cats or bookstore. Yes, I like to go somewhere more quiet like that.
Great, perfect. Perfect. That's great, Paula. Okay,
Okay.
you answered the question, you were fluent, you gave an example. Great. You covered the whole question in just 3 sentences. That is a perfect answer. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes, it
The
makes
sort of
sense.
thing you have to do.
Yes,
Okay.
got it.
Okay, and just a couple more of these. Um, okay, just this one is about where you live, as in your house or your flat. Okay. What part of your house do you like the most?
Mhm. The part of my apartment that I like the most might be the kitchen because I really enjoy cooking meals for myself and also for my family. And I also enjoy that we can sit right at the bar that we have and we just enjoy our meals with each other as a family.
All right. What room does your family spend the most time together in?
Mhm. I think the room that my family spends with each other the most is the living room. My mom usually work there too, and I just usually go there to wander around her or just watch TV shows.
Okay. Good. TV shows, such as,
Oh
remember
yes, yes.
examples, such
Okay.
as, you just need to give one example, such as,
Yes.
yeah. What do you watch, by the way?
Mm, I think I just watch TV shows, such as reality program, like reality shows.
Yeah, well, you can say that, such as reality
Okay.
shows, which is one of my favorite, such as
Okay.
MasterChef. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so remember to say that. Okay? And again, the
Okay.
reason you say that, it just gives you a chance, just again, to show how good your vocabulary is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that's the end of part one now. You got pretty much the idea of that.
Yes.
So the main thing to remember is examples.
Yes, to give
Okay, give
examples.
examples. And of course, you don't have to do it for every question, of course.
Okay.
Okay, but if you can do it for most questions, that's great. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about that?
No, I don't have any
O-
question about that yet.
Okay, let's go on to part two. So
Uh,
here is a part two question
oh,
for you.
wait, I need to get my glasses.
Sure.
Okay, I have the glasses.
Okay, I'll share the screen with you. And where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, can you see the question?
Yes, I've seen the question.
Okay, so again, remember what I was suggesting to you last time, that remember you don't have to answer all the bullet points, okay? You
Yeah.
make up your own bullet points if you need to. And secondly, try to talk about some experience you've had in
Yes.
relation to the question, okay? So obviously, it's an experience to do with sport, some experience you've had with sport, some story that you can tell with sport. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you have 1 minute to prepare, starting now. Okay, that's 1 minute. Thank you, Paula.
Okay.
So you have 2 minutes to talk about the subject starting from now. Thank you.
Okay. So there's a sport that I have only watched but have never played myself, is football. So I know that football is a common sport and it's a worldwide sport where everyone plays it and enjoy playing it. But me personally, I've only watched it through TV. So when I was younger, um, the first time that I watched football is with my father, and it was World Cup. It was specifically World Cup 2014. And as a girl back then, I believe that because I'm a girl, so I wouldn't be interested in those sports such as football, you know. However, there was a game that altered all my feelings toward the sport, and it was the final match between Brazil and Germany, I believe. And I was really intrigued by the game, and I just enjoyed the feeling each time a goal you know, was made by the players, and I really enjoyed the time that I spent with my father, that we watched together the sports, and it just gradually grew interest in me after I watched the game with my dad, and after that we usually watch football with each other. So I think that football is a really interesting sport that I can both spend time with my father to watch it, and I can both enjoy it as as audience.
Okay, that was, sorry, excuse me.
Mhm.
I've got a little bit of a cough. You might have heard my voice
Yes,
is a bit hoarse today. So that was 1 minute 50. Okay, so
uh,
again, just a
a
little
little
bit
bit.
short, just a
Yes, a
little
little
bit
bit
short.
short.
Um, so your subject matter is good. I'm going to get you to do it again to improve. This time, what I want you to do, two things. I want you to see if you can use just a few more adjectives. Okay, about describing both the game, all right?
Mhm.
So you were talking before how you started to get really excited, or whatever word you used, about
Yeah.
when they scored a goal. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So just see if you can think of some more adjectives. Okay, I was really excited, when, or adverbs. I was really excited when they scored a goal, and I just found myself becoming more and more fascinated by the game.
Yeah.
Okay, which leads me on. So the first one is adjective. The second one is just to put a little bit more feeling and emotion into what
Okay.
you are saying. Okay, so I really enjoyed, spending the time with my dad because, my dad has a busy job, and I don't always get to see him that much. But this day, we were both there, together in front of the TV, and we were both sharing something that we both really enjoyed.
Yes.
See, I'm having putting a little bit more emotion to my voice, so
Yes.
I'm not just talking like I am reading it off
Mm-hmm.
an essay, okay? I'm actually telling you about this experience, about how much this meant to me, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And like I say, I know it's so hard to judge the time, very hard to judge the time, but you're getting close. You're getting close, Paul. Okay, so do you need time to prepare, or do you want to start?
Yeah. I think I will start now.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Um. Okay. So is the timer on?
Yep, whenever you start, I'll start the time.
Okay. So, there's a sport that I've only watched but have never played myself, is football. So, when I was young, I think that as a girl, I wouldn't be much interested in this sport, although football is, a common sport and it's a worldwide sport played by everyone. However, there was a match that altered all my feelings toward football, toward this sport, is when it was World Cup 2014, and I watched it with my dad. And the game that was most remarkable to me is the final match between Brazil and Germany, I believe. And I watched it with my dad, and I could say that I really enjoyed the game because I didn't have much time spending with my dad, but the game really bring us closer to each other, and I can remember how thrilling and how legendary the game was, and everyone just exploded by, the final um you know, by the final end, how the match ended. And it left all the feeling to me that although it was really thrilling, but it was also the first time that I think that I got, you know, uh, I got changed by how I felt before about football. And so I think it left a really a good impression on me. So after that, I spend it more time with my father watching football games, and it is I really appreciate it, and it is those really precious moments with me when I can spend it with my dad. So that's why I think that I
Okay,
would.
that's 2 minutes there. That's two
Okay.
minutes. Okay, good. That so that was good, Paula. Okay, much better, much better. Okay,
Oh, I keep forgetting
you
words.
kept I know you kept forgetting
uh,
words, but and this might happen during the test. In which case,
uh,
you just keep going. Okay.
I know.
Ah, can't remember the word. The final. The ending. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did.
and just keep going. Okay, just think of another word. All right. So doing that is absolutely fine. No problem. No problem at all.
I
But
still can't remember the
yeah.
word.
So again, you that was fluent, Paula. Was great.
Mhm.
Okay, it was coherent. Everything you said made sense. It was a good story too, by the way. There were two parts to that story. One, you got interested in football. Two, you enjoyed spending time with your dad. Great story.
Mhm.
Excellent story. Okay. And remember, maybe you might get the chance to use the story again in a different setting, maybe.
Yes,
Um,
I know.
yeah. Tell me about a time when you did something with someone in your family.
Yeah.
Okay, you can use the same
Okay.
exactly the same story
Yes.
for that. Yeah. Yeah, so it's handy just to have a couple of stories that you can adapt,
Yes.
okay? And you don't have to think of something new every
Mhm.
time. Okay. So, yeah, like I say, you wouldn't have gone much over time, but they will stop you at the end of 2 minutes exactly. Okay, they
Uh,
won't let you
like
finish.
2 minutes exactly.
Yeah, yeah, they will stop you.
Oh,
Okay. But
so I didn't
I know
end
you were
well.
pretty close to finishing. I could feel you were getting close to the end. You only had a few more words to go. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and like I say, don't worry about the you know about forgetting words. Just can't think of the word. But what I mean is, something like that
Okay.
is part of communication. That's what you're showing that you can do. Okay.
Okay.
The worst thing to do, of course, would be just to stop altogether and then start to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
just I can't think of that word, but what I mean is I'm talking about when the game finishes, the ending of the game, and just keep
hmm
going. Okay, that's the way
Okay.
to deal with mistakes. Okay, that's good, Paula. Do you have any questions about that? And
No, I don't.
you
But
also had a
like,
bit more emotion in that too. That was good.
yeah.
And you
But I don't know.
also
Like,
sorry
no, no,
sorry
you can continue.
yeah sorry, and you also actually you slowed down a bit too, which was fine. When you were thinking, you slowed down, which again is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I think I said you don't have to keep talk for 2 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not natural. No one does that.
Okay.
Okay, you can stop a bit, and when you were just thinking of something, or when something, this was really exciting. Um, when I can't remember who won, but it was such a great game. Okay,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Okay.
All right. So, like I think I said last time, when you are practicing by yourself, of course, do it with your timer going on your
I,
phone, so you can just get used to how much time 2 minutes is. Okay, just practice with your phone. But you're on the right track, Paula. Okay, doing very well.
I
All right,
like.
which leads us, of course, on to, I'll stop this there now, part three of that. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So remember the part three questions are longer, and remember the structure for this. Answer the question, a couple of reasons why you give that answer, and there may be an example if you can think of
Mhm.
one. Okay, here we
Example.
go. And of course, remember part three questions are always connected to part two. So these questions are going to be about sports. What sort of sports
Mhm.
would you like to play in the future?
I think in the future, if I have the chance to, I would play some really adventurous sports. I really like the feeling of the adrenaline that runs in my body, and then like the risky feelings that I have when I play those dangerous sports. And I would say that especially I would try scuba diving or skydiving. Yes, I would really like to try those sports in the future.
Okay, good answer, Paula. Okay, good answer. You answered the question. You said why. You talked about it. It's pronounced adrenaline, by the way, adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline.
Yeah, I think you said it slightly differently. Not
Oh,
a big thing, but
yeah,
adrenaline.
adrenaline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you gave a couple of examples. Great.
Mhm.
Um, why do advertisements for various products often use athletes?
Oh, like there was a little bit lag. There was a
Sorry?
little bit lagging, so
Oh, was it?
there
Okay.
was a little bit lagging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so can you
Okay.
repeat the question?
All right, I'll start again. Why do advertisements for a lot of products often use athletes to promote them?
I think it is for some specific products, such as milk, milk. I usually see milk or products that are quite healthy and enhance your strength or your physical ability because athletes can be, the role model of people when they think about a healthy figure or a strong one or a handsome one. And I think that athletes can build and can have like a really perfect figure for the companies to advertise them for the products.
For example,
Example, yeah. For example, I can think of those milk brands such as Milo or other brands such as, it can be also yogurt, and I can see mostly faces can be like Ronaldo or even Mbappe. And I think they have, a really good impact on the target customers.
okay, good. Okay, that's better. Yeah. So again, examples. Think of
Yes, examples.
examples there. Yeah. For
Yeah.
example, there's a milk ad that I see in Vietnam often, and it has Ronaldo in it. Yeah,
Yes.
good. A lot of Vietnamese people like football, and they recognize him, and he's
Yes.
yeah, and it's good for them, for the product to see someone like him associated with it for the target market, as you said exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, so good. That's good, Paula. Okay. What's the most popular sport in Vietnam, do you think?
I think undeniably the most popular sport in Vietnam is football, and it is played most by the boys and males, but there are also girls that play the sport, and I think that because the sport is quite convenient for everyone to play, they don't need, a whole yard to play it. They can play it on the streets, they can play it from the younger age to the older generations, and I think it also brings people close together more. It creates a bond between people.
Okay, good. Um, what kind of sports do you think are popular now, but that weren't popular maybe 20 years ago?
I think
In other words, how the sports changed?
yeah. So recently there is a sport called pickleball. I think that sport is quite interesting, but it's also quite confusing to me. It's like a compilation of tennis, badminton, but it doesn't use much strength. Oh, and it also like it's a compilation of also table tennis. But then personally, I think it's quite a boring sport, and I don't think it helps you a lot. It's just like you're playing with the racket on your hand. So I don't think like the trend will last long in the future.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Um, one more question of these. Do you think there is too much sport on, there is too much emphasis on sport? What I mean by that is, do you think that people make athletes and sports people more famous than they deserve to be?
Mm, I think it depends, if the players and the athletes they have the value and they're famous and they're known and they're well known and they're booked because of their talent and because of their recognition. I think it's totally fine. Because it doesn't affect much to the people in general. But also I think that if people are getting recognized as like a lot more than their actual value that they have, it can be a downside too, because then they're overused and mm, the money for booking and the money for like hiring them as an athlete will also go up, and they just don't deserve that.
Okay. So what I was trying to get at with the question was, why should sports people be famous just because you can kick a ball or catch a ball or throw a
Mhm.
ball? Why
Yeah.
should you get lots of money when instead of maybe someone like a doctor or a nurse who is saving someone's life,
Oh,
and that
um,
kind of thing. But don't worry about answering that, okay? But that's the sort of thing I was getting at there, and
yes.
that's what sort of answer would I give to that question? Um, the only thing you didn't mention, which you could
Hmm.
have, is of course entertainment plays a
Yeah.
big part in people's lives, and um, no matter whether you are rich or poor, you know, entertainment can take you away from maybe what is maybe quite a boring life you are having, especially
Yeah.
if you are, you are struggling, maybe you are not doing very well at your job or whatever, but watching someone play sport really well can be really uplifting for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's really a good point.
Yeah, yeah. So
The
that's
leisure
just something
sport.
else to bear in mind if they ask you that sort of question.
Okay.
Okay, just about the entertainment value of sport, which
Yes.
is why, of course, that sports people get paid so much. Because it's like
Yeah, I know.
it's a bit like movies, any sort of entertainment. Sport is
Yeah.
like that. Sport is not just sport. Sport is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Inspires people, makes people feel better. Okay, all right. Good, Paula. You've done fine with that. What we'll do for the rest of the lesson now, while my voice still lasts, we're going to look at. Um, I'll just share this with you. Hang on. I'll share it with you as soon as I can find it. I don't want to share that quite yet. Where's it gone? I know where it is. Actually, I'm just looking at this. I won't share that because that would actually take too long to explain. We'll do this instead. Sorry, Paula, bear with me just for a moment.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can you see task 2 samples on your screen?
I can see it.
Excellent. All right. So this is just to remind you about the structure of task
Okay.
2 essays, which I'm sure you'll remember once we've looked at this for a few minutes. So remember, task 2 essay, always 4 paragraphs. Okay, introduction is a paraphrase. Okay, and an introduction to the 2 body paragraphs that you are going to write about. And then your last paragraph, of course, is a conclusion, always. So you can see in this particular essay, okay, this is the paraphrase. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right, about instead of saying good members of society, instead of saying how to be a good member of society, they talked about how to function as a useful member of society. Okay, and instead of saying school, they've said educational institutions. Okay. Here, so this is the paraphrase. Okay,
Yeah.
and then, and so I've got to say this essay isn't a great example, but we'll keep going with this. So this is the introduction to the 2 body paragraphs. So you can see here the person is going to talk about why schools can be beneficial. And the next body paragraph is going to be about why families can also be beneficial. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But for the structure of the essay, that's the main thing I want you to look at now, is just to remember that um, you need to write about your body paragraphs, just introduce them in the introduction. I'll find you another sample shortly that I think will make more sense than this. Okay, so you can see here they've got their main topic sentence. Okay, schools are good places for children to learn to be good citizens. Okay, got the reasons why. Okay, and then an example. Okay, here is the main topic sentence for this paragraph. All right, parents play an important role in teaching them how to be good citizens. Why? Okay, because classes are sometimes too big in school, so much better to have one-to-one lessons from your parents. Also, parents have a strong bond, hopefully, with their children, so the children will learn better off them. Okay, and therefore there should be an example here, which they haven't done. And then in conclusion, all you are doing is summarizing what you said in the introduction. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, I'll show you another sample. Like I say,
Mm.
that one wasn't a particularly good example. Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully this one will be. Okay. So here you can see first sentence is, so this is an advantages, disadvantages essay, which of course means one paragraph must be about advantages. Okay, and your second paragraph must be about the disadvantages.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope you can see this is just a paraphrase, okay, of the main thesis. All right, and this, whoops, these two sentences are what each paragraph is going to be about. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, good. All right. And then they've got one advantage of not having children means that you can focus on your work. And this is because, okay, all right. Then an example. Yeah, this essay, the structure is better. Again, disadvantage of not having children. One disadvantage is that you can't, it's hard to be friends with your peers who do have children. Okay.
Yes.
And this is because then they've got two reasons, okay, and an example. All right. And then just a summary of what they've already said. Does that make sense, Paula?
Yes, it makes
Right.
sense.
What I'm going to get you to do now, okay, is just give me an outline for this. Okay. I won't get you to write it. We'll talk through it. Okay. Be faster. Okay. Can you give me a paraphrase for the thesis statement? This is the thesis statement. Can you
Okay.
can you paraphrase that for me now? Off
Um,
the top of your head.
okay. So, oh, so like it's a whole sentence, right?
Yes, yeah. You always paraphrase the complete sentence. Always.
I can like change the no the oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yep.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So just
So
again, just change what you can. Remember, if this was the test, you haven't got long to do this. So you just do what you can.
okay. So in various
Yep.
professional sports,
Yep.
um, there is a growing trend
Mhm. Yeah.
in uh in in
Yeah.
sports player,
Yeah.
sports
Sport.
player,
Yeah. Yeah,
athletes.
sports people, you'd actually say, is
Oh,
the common collocation.
okay,
Instead of
sports
sports
people.
player, just say sports people.
Okay,
Yep.
and in
Using. Yep.
sports people using
What's another word for band?
yes, I'm remembering it.
Mhm.
And using what can
Something
I
something that is banned is against the law. Something that is against the
illegal?
law is
Illegal, yes,
illegal. Correct.
yes.
Correct.
Uh illegal
Substances.
there is can I use drugs?
Yes,
Because
you can
it is
use drugs. You can.
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, using illegal drugs to enhance their performance.
Yeah. And Paula,
Okay.
that is fine, Paula. Good. Okay. You're good. Did that well. Good. That's all you have to do. Okay. That's
Okay.
all you have to do for these things. Okay. Yeah. So there is no, yeah, professional sports. There's no easy way to paraphrase that. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can paraphrase some of these other things. As you
Mhm.
said, sports people instead of athletes, illegal drugs instead of banned substances, enhance instead of improve. Good. Did really well. Okay. Remember, the other way of paraphrasing is just to turn the phrases, swap the phrases around.
Mm.
Okay. These days, many professional sports people, okay, use illegal drugs to boost their performance, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? So you can just move the words around a little bit as well. Okay, so that was good, Paula.
Okay.
So again, off the top of your head, why? So you need two reasons for this. You need what are the causes and what are the solutions. So what is one cause?
I think because they tend to be tempted, by like they're being tempted and they're too obsessed with they have to with them having to win.
Good. Okay, because so your first reason, one cause of it, because of the pressure to win.
Mm.
Okay, good. Okay, what's a solution?
Solution?
Yeah. What's the solution? This is to stop athletes using illegal drugs.
Oh,
What's one solution?
solution. Mm, like you can use like laws to ban them from
Mhm.
from attending the game, but I don't think they still have laws that they cannot attend, but they still
That's
use
right.
it.
They
Oh
still
yeah.
use it. So how do you stop athletes using drugs? How do they stop athletes using drugs in the Olympics? How do they stop it?
Oh,
You know the answer to this. Why isn't every athlete at the Olympics using drugs? Because
I don't remember. I just remember like the scene is really dirty.
when they
Yeah,
have
they got infected while swimming in the sea. Yes, in that river.
what do they do at the Olympics to stop people taking drugs? What
Oh,
do they do?
I really don't remember right now.
They test them.
Oh, oh yeah, I know. Like they do tests in other Olympic and other like competition too.
They do. They test them. Okay.
Like even they test them, like they still use it, So
Some of them still get caught. Yeah.
yeah, so
But also they use testing. Okay, that is the main solution. Yeah, okay, you stop people using illegal drugs by testing them. And
I don't,
obviously, if they test positive, then they won't win.
yeah, like they should, test it before the game because
Mm,
in other, in other game that I watch, like they're usually like test after the game after like they won.
mm,
So yeah, I don't think that matters anymore.
yeah. Although it does, I think if they test you after the
Oh,
game and they found you've got drugs, then they will that means the result
yeah, I know.
will not stand. They will take if you want a medal, they'll take your medal away.
Take your medal away.
Yeah.
But like the second place, the person that in second place, they still, they still doesn't get the gold medal.
Oh, usually they do. Yes, they do.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
They
okay.
usually the person who's second then gets the gold medal. That's what usually happens,
Yeah, okay. So
don't they?
that's
Yeah. Okay. So again, the answer to this question, okay, it's caused by people's need to win. Okay, that is the main cause. They need to win because when they win, they get money and they become famous.
yeah.
There are your reasons, okay? One possible solution is to test athletes,
Mhm.
okay? If you test athletes and they are found to have cheated, then you know they will ruin their career, okay? Ruin their reputation, okay? So that is that one. Let's look at another one, Paula. Now you're getting the idea. Um, sort of a boring one. Okay, this one, Paula.
Something like music art and dramas.
Okay, so this is an opinion essay, remember? Okay, anytime you see this, okay, it's an opinion essay. Agree, disagree.
Okay.
So it'll ask you something like this, or it will say, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Which basically means the same thing. It's an opinion essay. And remember, with opinion essays, you just choose one side. Okay, you don't write about both sides. Just choose one side and make both main body paragraphs about that side.
Okay.
Okay, so can you paraphrase this for me now?
And some people
Mm-hmm.
that different forms of art
Mm-hmm.
are different forms of art and other school subjects are equally important.
Mm-hmm.
Students as a primary level like primary school.
Yes. Yes.
Also, it has to have the word primary, right?
There is a word that you can use. Begins with the letter J.
J.
Yeah. Instead of primary.
Hmm.
Primary students are
Oh,
young students.
junior.
Yes.
Junior.
Junior. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Primary, junior, young mean the same.
okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so, and again, off the top of your head, do you agree or disagree? So
Uh,
basically, you could say art subjects, which are what
yeah.
these are as important. Vital is a good synonym.
Title, yes.
Yeah, vital as you could say other school subjects such as science and maths, especially at a junior level.
Yes.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree because personally I've been there and
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
I do a lot of sports and arts and I do like music and arts too. So
mm-hmm.
yes, I think it's like really important for a
Okay.
for a
For why? And then you got to say
yeah,
why, of course. Why?
for
Why
for a
are
child
art subjects?
to it makes them more creative, they're
Mm-hmm.
more open-minded and they know like other fields and you know besides just knowledge at school, basic knowledge at school.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Any or you need two reasons, remember, for
yeah.
this one.
I also think that, like doing those music, arts and dramas and also like increases your I don't know, like its ability, like also your intelligence. I don't know. It helps you like do things like maths better.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. So that's fine. So you've got your two ideas. That's fine for us. And then remember, you need to have an example for each one. Okay. So let's just have a quick look at this answer, what they've done. So they've said, as you can see here, one of the
Uh,
reasons I agree creative subjects, they've used creative instead of art, okay, which is again is a good synonym. Allows students to find out if you are talented at this or not.
yeah,
That
if
is a
I'm
good reason,
gifted.
okay?
Yes.
And you can see the example they've used. For example, and they just use a general example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not using anyone's name or anything, just
Yeah.
saying, you know, um, yeah, people who are good singers were discovered at school from a young age, and then they knew they had some talent and they could work at it. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, so their first reason was it allows you to discover if you have some talent or not. Okay,
Yeah.
and their second reason is that doing creative subjects can give you more confidence.
Yes, more confidence.
Yeah, that's their second reason. Um, is that true or not? Doesn't really matter. They've made it into a reason. So and they can write about it, which is good enough. Okay, and
Yes.
they've used this for an example. You know, students who are maybe struggling with some sort of anxiety or maybe they are shy. Okay, if they take drama lessons, for example, helps them become more extroverted, which is
Yes.
possibly true actually. Okay, gives them experience of speaking in front of people, makes them less shy.
Okay.
Okay. So does that make sense? We'll do one more of these, just so you get the idea.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we've seen that one. Seen that one. Seen that one.
Okay.
Okay. All right, this one. What about this one? Some
So
people think all university students should study whatever they like. Okay, whatever you want. Others believe should only be allowed to study subjects that will be useful in the future. Okay, obviously the first thing you think of is who decides what is useful. Yeah,
yeah.
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 Okay. So, again, I won't get you to paraphrase because it takes a little bit of time, but you can just see their paraphrase here. By the way, all these answers are about band 7 or 8. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of saying some people think, they've got some would argue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Instead of saying all university students, they just all students in universities. Just
Yeah.
turn it around. Okay. Very simple, but it works.
Oh, can I have a minute? Like I have to charge my laptop.
Sure. That's fine. Well, almost finished, Paula. Just doing
Okay.
this the last bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And you can actually see for the rest of this, they haven't really paraphrased at all. Okay. They just
Yeah.
copied out the same thing.
Uh,
And yeah. And remember, of course, the paraphrase is only one small part of the essay. So you shouldn't spend any more than a couple of minutes doing a paraphrase. And if you can't think of any good synonyms,
mm-hmm.
don't, just keep going. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and you can see discuss both views. So this is obviously a discussion essay. Okay. All right. Discuss both views. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
this makes it nice and easy. So one view, students would only be allowed to study useful subjects, and the other view is students should study whatever they want. Okay. So that's very
Mm-hmm.
simple. So of course you write one paragraph about each of those. Okay, so their idea, I just show you, okay, studying science and technology makes it easy to find a job that gives you a high salary. Okay, so that is a reason why people should be made to study science and maths, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, because that leads maybe jobs with, that have science or IT or something like that often have higher salaries, but not always. However, on the other hand, okay, it's better for your life, okay, if you study something you love,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? Much more
Yes.
satisfying for you, even if you don't end up getting as much money.
Yeah.
Does
Like
that
you
make sense?
pursue, yeah, you pursue your interests.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might have heard a saying about if you find, how does it go? Uh, if you find something that you enjoy doing every day, you never
Yeah.
have to work a day in your life.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. I
something
know
like
that.
that, because it's not work. You're just doing something you like every day.
Yes.
So yeah, so those are two ideas for that essay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one being, studying something that maybe the government thinks is useful, like becoming a nuclear scientist or becoming a doctor.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, they are useful, and you might get more money, but okay, it might
Yes.
not be what you enjoy, and you might end up after 10 years really hating what you do, and that affects the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But if you get to study something that you choose, maybe you don't make so much money, especially if you're just going to be an artist or something like that, but you enjoy your life.
But like I think that's like for some particular jobs, like if you don't make enough money,
Mm,
so you wouldn't enjoy it much as you did at first,
mm,
because then you have like the stress that mm, they're not paid enough, you know, to afford the living.
mm.
So you wouldn't enjoy it much as you did at first.
Yes, there is that. There is that. That's true. That's true. Okay, so you are happy with, so I just, again, the idea for this was just to remind you of the structure of these essays. Okay, I'm sure you are fine thinking about the ideas. Okay,
Yes.
but it is important to remember the structure
Structure.
because then just straight away you have a framework that you
Yeah.
can just put your ideas into. You don't have to think about, oh, how am I going to put things in my first paragraph? How am I going to put things in my second paragraph? You always know that you start with a paraphrase. Then your next sentence is always a summary of your main argument. Then your next two paragraphs are your main argument, okay?
Yes.
With reasons why, and the last sentence of each one should always be a what, Paula? Of your main body paragraphs, what is the last sentence of each one? Is an
Example?
correct. Okay, always have an example.
Yes.
Okay, very simple, the structure. And then your conclusion, just a repeat of your introduction, but a paraphrase of that. Okay,
Yes.
okay, and that is the structure. And that makes it very much easier to do the essay because you already have the framework for every essay in your
Mhm.
mind, and then you just have to fit your ideas into that structure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of today's lesson. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, oh yeah, like, actually, like I don't know because I realized that doing the speaking, I usually forget a lot of words
Mm-hmm.
that I usually know, like
Mm,
I have words in my head but I cannot like remember of it.
mm.
So like do you have any advice for that?
My only advice for that is to practice speaking. Okay, that's the only.
So like
There is no shortcut to obviously to suddenly remembering the exact word at the exact right time. Okay,
Mhm.
the only way you can do that is to keep putting yourself in that test situation.
Yes.
Okay, so just go online, all right, find some topics,
Yeah.
okay, some speaking topics, have your phone, your timer with you so you get the idea. You can look, you can practice with your phone is fine. So you know how long 2 minutes is going to be, okay,
Mhm.
and just practice giving the talk.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like I say, the answer to your question is easy, but the work isn't
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it's just practice, Paula, like anything.
Okay.
Just practice, just familiarity. And you don't have to do it too much.
Mhm.
Just do a couple of these a day. That's all. A couple of part twos a day.
Yeah,
Speaking part two.
that I've done part three better than part two.
Yeah. Well, of course, part three is a chance for you just to, as I'm sure you know, part one questions are just about you. Okay, very easy. Something to do with you. Where do you live? What do you study? All that sort of thing. What do you like to eat? What's your favorite room? Okay, they're all about you. Part three questions are very abstract. Okay,
Yeah.
you have to give an opinion about something, and you're good
Yeah.
at that. Okay,
Social topics.
yeah, you're good at that. And again, the structure is easy for that.
Yeah.
Answer the question, say yes, I agree, no, I don't. These are the reasons why. Example.
Yeah. Like it has a structure too.
Yeah, that's right. Um, part two, of course, a little bit harder because there's no exact structure. You have to make your own,
I know.
depending on what the topic is. But like I say, you just have to keep practicing so you become more comfortable with retrieving words
Yes.
from your memory. And your
Okay.
vocabulary is great, Paul. You've got a great vocabulary. No problem with that at all.
I still like feel like I didn't utilize it like I should, you
Mm,
know. because I could have done much better. So I think I should still practice a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And the more you practice, just the easier it will be. That's like I say, simple answer, but it takes some work. Yeah.
Yes.
Just like anything. So I'm sorry, there's no shortcut.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. So maybe we can have another lesson sometime, maybe next week sometime.
Yeah, I think next week because this week I'm gonna like go back to school
Yeah,
and
of course.
then I will have my timetable and the schedule of school.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know maybe sometime when you are free.
Okay, I will email
Okay.
you.
Yeah, email me or let your mum know so you can tell me.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Paula. Well, I hope that's been useful for you.
Yes, thank you for the lesson today.
Okay. You're very welcome, Paula. Okay. You're doing great.
Yes,
Okay.
I hope so too.
So it's just keeping practicing, which is what you're doing now. So that's great.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay. Bye
All right.
bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.